So, this might be kind of obvious to some people. I've been thinking about it over the last couple days, and I've been doing a lot of work on myself in this capacity, and I thought I would share it with you guys. People have different desires and different needs, and it's usually based on a lot of things. Sometimes it can be past life, sometimes it's this life, it's sometimes the way we're raised, it's experiences that we've had when we were children, it's experiences that we had when we were teenagers, it's past marriages, it's growth, just age. And I think as you age, you get a little bit more comfortable with who you are and what you like and what you don't like. And this is not to take away from anybody who is a gender and prefers to be in the opposite energy. My personal preference is in my life, I want a man. A man. I am a heterosexual woman who wants a real man, a man who knows who he is. I don't want a woman trapped in a man's body. And I know that's going to trigger some of you. Some of you are going to be really annoyed by the fact that I just said that. But that is the fact. For me, you have to decide what you want on your own. You have to decide, if you're a man, do you want to... Okay, let me back up 2 steps here. Each individual person, each of us has a feminine and a masculine within ourselves, our own bodies. We have feminine energies and we have masculine energies. And some things that we do will trigger our masculine energies, and some things that we do will trigger our feminine energies. Some people will choose to pull one energy over another energy. And why I say choose is because I have been a female in my masculine energy. I am a business owner. I am an artist, which artists are actually female, but female energy. But I have been in male-dominated businesses, male-dominated sales positions, male-dominated where I have had to force my inner male to come out and deal with the big boys that I had to deal with. I could not come at these men with feminine energy because it was not a relational type situation. It was not a intimate relationship. It was a business relationship. So I had to strap on my pants and play the male role with the good old boys. So I am capable of playing a male role. I am capable of being heavily into male energy. I don't like it. I don't like it. I have been in situations throughout my entire life where I have had men in my life, and I thought that naively that men were men. That's not the case. A lot of men are actually women. They're not really men. And I'm sorry if you're a man who is in your feminine energy and that's offensive to you. I don't intend it to be. But I personally, as a woman, do not like men in feminine energy. It does nothing for me. And I don't particularly like females in male energy. I don't like myself in male energy. And I don't like feeling like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. I don't know if people really like break down the male-female dynamic, but going back to, see, I get really hot about this subject. Going back to male and female within ourselves. There is a switch in the brain. And I can't remember right at the moment. I think it's left side is male energy, right side of the body is male energy. Yes. My guides are saying yes. Left side or right side of the head is female energy. Left side of the body is female energy. So it switches in the back of the neck. So when somebody talks about right brain, they're talking about male energy. When they're talking about left brain, they're talking about female energy. And I've done yoga most of my life, and I can gauge where my masculine and feminine energy is based on the poses that I am doing. I can see when my male energy is weak. I can see when my female energy is weak, and I can do things throughout my day that compensates or feeds one side or the other if I am seeking balance. Generally, I would say balance is a good thing. And I think balance is something to strive for. But there are people who, like myself, who would rather be more in female energy or more in male energy. And I think they used to call it dominance and submissives. But that's just like a dumb term, or it's just a term that society uses to classify male energy versus female energy. But I personally prefer to be in female energy. I don't like functioning like a man when I'm a woman. I am actually a woman, and I want to be treated like a woman. And I want to be cherished and treasured and loved, and just that whole, I guess you could call it like maybe traditional relationship. I value male energy. I value a guy who can take care of business He takes care of the things that he needs to take care of when he needs to take care of them, and I don't have to worry about it. I have my stuff, he has his stuff. I don't like blurred lines. I don't like men who are so far into their feminine energy that they're not taking care of anything, including me. I want a man to be a man, and I want to be a woman. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think today, part of the problem that we have as a society is that you have too many men who aren't taking care of their business. They're like drowning in female energy. And you have too many women who are trying to prop up the whole entire world on the backs of or on their shoulders. And they're drowning in male energy. And I don't know if they are even aware that this is a problem. But I'm going to tell you how I have come to this over a period of healing. When I was a child, my mother drilled it into my head that a woman should be completely independent. She should be totally in her male energy. She should take care of herself. To hell with men. They're all whatever. I mean, whatever she said. So I grew up with her philosophy running through my head, even though it was not my philosophy. I have never been that way. I have never felt the way my mother did. But on some level in my brain, I continued to play out her narrative throughout her entire life. And let me tell you, she died never having a successful relationship. Never. And part of it was because she literally demasculated every man that she was with. They weren't allowed to be men. They weren't celebrated for their male qualities. They were celebrated for their female qualities. And again, if that is what you like, I am not taking anything away from you. If you like a man who acts like a woman, then that's all for you. That's fine. I prefer a man to be a man. Now, does that mean that I don't want him to be intimate and loving and compassionate and sweet with me? Hell no. I want that. When the doors are closed and we're alone, I want that emotional connection with my man. But I want it to be a man's emotional connection. I don't want to feel like I'm with a woman or I'd be with women. It's okay for a man to be emotional. And it's okay for a man to be protective and loving and kind and compassionate. A man can even cry. I mean, we all have emotions. We all feel things, and some of us feel things on a deeper level than other people do. That does not take away from a man's masculinity. What takes away from a man's masculinity is a woman thinking that he needs to act more like a woman 24/7 when he doesn't want to. He wants to act like a man. And he wants to be in a relationship with somebody that he can trust with his emotions. Just like a woman wants to be in a relationship with somebody she can trust with her emotions. There's nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I think we have this problem where people are not sitting down and defining what they are and what they want. We have all these women who want the job, they want the power, they want this, they want that. There is nothing wrong with that. But if you are that woman, make sure that the woman or the man that you're getting involved with is compatible to that energy. Don't get in a relationship with a man who's extremely male energy and expect that you're going to get along well in that relationship, because chances are you won't. You will constantly butt heads. You're both in male energy. You're both trying to take control. You're both trying to run the show. You're going to butt heads. It does not work. Even in homosexual relationships, there is a male energy and there's a female energy. And if there isn't, it's not going to work. So, here's my advice. First of all, figure out who you are. Are you more male energy? Are you more female energy? Once you know that, finding somebody else in your life is going to be a whole lot easier. And you will start to know if somebody is more in their female energy or in their male energy. And you'll know it very quickly. Very, very quickly. Another thing that you can do to work with your inner male and female is have conversations with your opposing energy. So, and I mean this in your head. Like, you don't want to do this out loud, although you could. And you might get a guide or two who comes in and actually answers you, but but you can have conversations with your opposing. So like, I often have conversations in my head with my masculine. I will ask my masculine questions. Like, of course I have guides and they're all masculine, so they kind of answer. But you can do this without having guides or guardians or whatever. You can ask them questions. Ask your male side what it needs. What does it want? What makes it happy? And if you listen closely, you will actually hear an answer. Same with the feminine side. If you're a masculine and you tend to be more on the masculine side, you can have conversations with your feminine side. And I'm saying this because feminine energy is very specific and masculine energy is very specific. And if you can create a masculine and feminine understanding or compassion within yourself, so that means that your feminine has compassion for your masculine side, and your masculine has compassion for your feminine side, you can learn a lot about feminine and masculine energy just by playing that game. And it will open you up to your opposing energy, so that when you're having a conversation with like, let's say you're a man and you have done this practice, and you're having a conversation with a woman, an actual female, you won't be as shocked by her answer, because you're more in touch with your own feminine energy. And if you're not sure what energy is what, if you're confused about that, just go online and do a search for masculine energy or feminine energy. And things like reading are feminine, that's a feminine energy. Having a cup of tea, that's a feminine energy. Yard work, masculine energy. Business, like for me, because I'm a business owner, I actually have to play with my energy a bit, putting myself in a masculine energy to run my business. But I don't ever want to stay in that masculine energy. And I'm very cautious of it, because I have been a workaholic. I have spent way too much time trying to force a square peg into a round hole and missing out on a whole lot of feminine and life stuff. I don't want to do that. So I've learned how to primarily stay in feminine energy, and then switch on my male energy when I need it. When I need to get the job done, I can switch into male energy, and then I can switch back out and go into female energy. And I really try to adjust my days appropriately. So I actually have a tendency to pull more male energy, because I've been forced to do that my whole life. So male energy is pretty easy for me. Feminine energy is a little bit more difficult. So I actually prefer to stay in the feminine energy now, and then switch on the masculine when I need it. That is just a choice that I've made. It works for me. At some point in time in my life, I may have to switch and go to another way of doing it. I hope not. But if I do, I can switch back and forth. And doing this practice of talking to your inner male or your inner female will help you do that as well. And you will learn what energy you're in and what energy. If you want to know what energy you're in, I know somebody did like you blow, you put your finger under your nose, and whichever one is flowing more smoothly is the energy that you're in. So this would be your male energy, this would be your female energy. So right now, I am probably a little bit more into male energy, but it's pretty balanced. But I'm pretty sure it's because I'm doing this video and I'm kind of annoyed. But the other thing you can do is you can stand on one leg. Like, in yoga, I can see it perfectly. All I have to do is do tree pose. And if I am not, balanced in my male energy, I'll fall over. I will have a hard time holding that pose if I'm, you know, or on my right side. If I'm on my left side and I'm doing a pose, I know my female energy is off because I can't stand on one leg. And that's balance. You want to have a balance in your female energy and a balance in your male energy. And then you can choose if you want to be more in feminine energy or you want to be more in masculine energy. And if you learn this, if everybody learned this, we would all be much happier, healthier people because we would be choosing what energy we want to be in. Now, I will say that the age of Aquarius is pushing more people into feminine energy, but it is not a divine feminine energy is not a pushover. She is not somebody who has no confidence. She is not a doormat. She knows exactly who she is. She knows exactly what she's worth. And she chooses to be in that energy. And the same thing with divine masculine. Divine masculine knows what he is capable of. He is the protector. He is the fighter. He is the provider. Divine masculine and divine feminine. That is what you're trying to create within you. And if you want your outer relationships to mirror that, to have that expression, you got to get right in here first. Get right on the inside and then let it flow to the outside, and make sure that you're choosing a partner who is on the opposite page as you. If you're a serious divine masculine, you don't want a divine feminine. You don't want a divine masculine female to be in your life. It won't work. It will not work. You have to have a female who is in her divine energy. She knows her value. She is not threatened by your power. She appreciates it. She recognizes your divine masculine. And if you can get that dynamic in a relationship, oh mama, you have got one heck of a relationship.